Alright, the struts came in. Right here. Just a couple of those fellas. I was already in it. Kind of sizing things up a little bit. Came with a little pack of shims. Kind of confused what they were for. Until, I'll get this out of the way. Until I lined her up with the hub, that spindle. This guy here, you think, oh my gosh, it's the wrong one. Just so happens these shims are the same thickness that I need to fill that. So, there you go. It's already figured out. I knew that you run into a situation like this. So these are for their fox body length. So I think they kind of figured out, since it's aftermarket, they figured out that it might be going on a fox body or an SN95 or I don't know. But anyway, that does not stop us from doing stuff, activities. For now, put them back in here and soften it off. Now, set this up. Go to our sleeves. These slide right over. I pulled the competition engineering sticker off. It's competition engineering. I pulled the sticker off just to have less material I have to deal with. These guys. Hold on. Hold on. Where's my beat stick? Whoop. Give her a... That's probably good for the speaker. Give her a... Dozer dozer! Okay, yeah. Clean your garage. Oh, fingers out of the way. Okay. Alright, here we go. Okay, I gotta come up with a plan here. I gotta two-hand this. Give me a sec. There we go. See, once you get her past that well, it just falls in place. Now, this guy here, if you turn it, it's supposed to be a little junk on there, a little powder coating. There's a little index notch. It's supposed to match up with an index notch that's on the strut. These ones are a little different. They don't have a little kicker upper for that to index onto. So I want to make my own little tab. Something that probably jams itself into the holes in the strut. And that'll lock into. I'll kind of show you what I mean. It is really nice so that the sleeve sits on top of this whole perimeter. So I think we're doing good there. So yeah. And then when you put this together, the spring goes on. You give this a quarter turn to unlock that. It'll extend out. I had to power buff the powder coating off of there in order to slide the hand cap on. I'll show you how it goes together. There's a bearing, races, this top hat. I'll show you right now. Kind of pretty easy to figure out. Spring goes between there. And then it goes into these guys here, but there's a little baggie of spacers. So I'm going to dry fit all this stuff together on the bench to see how it sits inside of the camber caster plate, see how everything goes together before I hang it in the car. Now I can't hang that other side in tonight because I still have the other hub at the shop. But what I can do is get her in, get her up, and then we could kind of guesstimate where that hub winds up against the fender lip. And we'll kind of see if we could see if we're close or not to what we're trying to achieve. All right, got some new bolts. These are not OEM stuff, however, they are a grade 8 frame bolt. They're designed they're meant for heavy truck applications when you're doing bolting stuff up to frames and stuff of that nature. But anyway, oh, fumbling. There we go. So that's what's happening tonight is I want to get a strut hanging. Oh, got our long studs in. Tip with these, do not pull them in with a nut. What happens is you blow the threads off the nut, then you wind up cutting the nut off, and then you nick the stud, and you gotta buy yourself a whole new kit, which I had to. You can see I actually kind of nicked that with the cutoff wheel. It's not that deep. It's just a... I'll send it. But anyway, put in a vise and you kind of see where the vise sat, and then I just drove them in with a hammer and a punch. Not this little soft guy, but anyway. Alright, anyway, we'll get back to music. I'll get this assembled on the bench to see how it fits. I'm kind of curious on making sure all the parts work together as a team before I put them in a car. So yeah, here we go. This whole front end is going to come back apart again when I do the final cleanup of the paint. That's why I'm not interested in lining up the cross member yet. I don't really particularly care where it is located in the car. You do have to line the things. There's a little bit of play and adjustments in the holes and stuff. But I just want everything to be kind of... Well, right now I'm just collecting parts. And then once we get serious about assembly, that's when the fine tuning comes in. I will see you in a minute or two after I do some more assembly. QA1 caster camber plates. They come with different spacers. It's a flat cut, it's a bevel cut tall, a bevel cut short, and these little guys. I'll read the instructions. Yeah, actually read the instructions on how they want it laid out onto that. I'm not going to grease the pivot, the steering bearings, because like I said, this has to come all back apart anyway. I know why put it together just to take it back apart. That's the process. Whenever you're doing stuff like this, you can't just assume that it's going to be perfect, you know. I might change things. I might come up with different ideas. This might not work for my application. I don't know. We're just kind of winging it as we go. So, my sleeve on there. Got my bolts for the thing faces. And we got... Give that a quarter turn and extend the shaft. Extend the shaft. And then I'll stack these together on how QA1 wants them on the thing, with the thingies and the stuff and the doodads, and then we'll come up with a strut, and then we'll put it in the car. I just about forgot the rebound bumper and the little booties, or whatever you want to call those. So throw the rebound bumper in. Oh, it's for a different shaft size, I think. Violence, I shall force it. Hold on. All right. Might have run into a little bit of a situation. Yeah. Got the little bumper on. The boot might be too short. Slide her on. Slide her on here. Come on. Get on there. There we go. See what shot. Damn it. This is going to be kind of a thing, isn't it? Oop, get in there. And then, of course, you can zip tie it to the strut. You see what shaft is poking out still? So I think even if I zip tie that down, I don't know if that boot's going to extend far enough. Well, if I run boots, I run boots. If I don't, I don't. I just figured I had them, might as well use them. So, all right. Next, I guess I'll throw a spring on her. Now I have these threaded all the way down to the bottom. So you can see how much more adjustment I have. You know? Right down to the bottom of the sleeve. All right, anyway, I shall stack those up how the instructions say. Oh, hold on. Now's a good time to throw on. There's a little Torrington bearing in there. There's a little top hat piece. Slides over, and there's a bearing race there, and a little Torrington bearing. And then another race. Hold on. That's powder coating there. I kind of had to buff off. See that little bearing in there. There's another race. And then there's the top cap, which kind of sort of sits on top there. All right, so I'll have to thread this up against that. Okay, because that sits right there against the thing. Hold on, turn this light off. Once the spring comes up, that'll all work together as a team. All that stuff. Okay. So I guess I'll all right, so now I have to read the instructions on what spacers go where. And then onto these guys here. I should find out which one's the driver's side. Let's go back to the car. 2 bolts in the back of the driver's side. Well, you know what? Why did I do that? They're labeled. They're labeled right there. This is the one. They're labeled right there, right side. You see that or not? And that guy goes right here. But it doesn't just simply go right there, because this here would rub up against the body. Because this sits up right here. See the spacer? This sits inside the strut tower. So, all right, let's read the instructions. All right, using coilovers, I use the square cut, goes on right there. And I use the shorter bevel cut. I'm assuming the bevel cut is so it sits in the race. All right, then I put on there, and then I use this fella here upside down. I guess it's right side up like that. And then the nut goes on, wherever the nut's right here. So there is the assembly. Once the spring is up in place, something like that. All right, something like that, eh? Okay, I'll put it in the car and we shall see what it looks like. Oh, finger stuck. Yeah, and those spacers there, that keeps her out of the body. Not very clear. It's a little fucking blurry and fuzzy. I don't know why. I don't know why. Damn it. Oh, grab my libations. Yeah, I don't know why it's all blurry. So there we have a strut. Now QA1 sent a strut nut. And Competition Engineering also sent a strut nut. So I don't know which one I'll use. Ooh, that one doesn't go on with it. I don't think I'll use a QA1. I think it's decided. That's horrible. Oh well. Alright, throw it in the car. Alright, not too bad. Yeah, we got her sitting in there. Get up in here. Those little spacers. Give her some spacers, space it away from the lower bolts and the body. I don't know if you could focus in there. All right. And these springs are too short. I'm way at the top of the travel, but I knew that. I knew these are the wrong springs. These are not for this particular job. Not for this particular application. But we're getting somewhere. Progress is being made. Look at that. That's a Fox body length strut. The SM95 length strut, actually, I believe this collar is down farther. So that'll actually put more drop in the wheel. But I'm okay with that. I went with the Fox body because I want to lower the car. What do? You order an SN95 strut and then run out of room when you lower the car? Or do you order the Fox body strut and run out of room when the wheels drop down with those spindles? I went with this route and I'm going to stick with it. Alright, we're here now. That sticks out quite a long way. I'll put a fender back on it. But I think I gotta get the Fox control arms. I'll get a fender on her and size it up. But yeah, this is definitely, and this is just chilling in here. It's not really tight. It's just kind of hanging out. And that stays stationary. See, it pivots. There's a pivot bearing in there to articulate when this does its sweep. That's all engineered to do that. All right. It's really good to know. That's too short. That's what she said. All right, I want to get a fender on this thing. So I am curious about, I think it's too far out. Okay. So I have a fender back on her. And a high-tech method of measuring this up. I got a ruler, electrical tape to the hub. And let me get down in here. We're actually a fair ways away, farther than I expected. Let me grab a measure here. Farther than I expected. Oh, I hit the hub. Hold on. Come on. Stop with the wiggle. Stop. So I'm actually, hold on. Focus. It's about 3.5 inches. That's what she said. Right to the lip of the fender. Now I'm running a 5-inch wide wheel with 3 3/4 backspace, and so I'll be tucked in the wheel, or tucked in the fender. That's perfect. Yeah, I won't know for sure until I get tires on it. But I think I'm looking pretty good. It's about 3.5 inches to the hub. The wheels I'm buying are supposed to have a 3 3/4 back spacing, 5-inch wheel. So that should leave me, so like a 3 3/4, 5-inch right there, so it should leave me 2 inches worth of tire. So the tire should be tucked in the fender. If I run a 5-inch, I'm going to be running actually a street tire. Actually, one of these. It'd be speed rated, but it's actually going to be a fairly wide tire. What the heck is this? This is a 185. It's a 185, 65, something like that. So I will be running a street tire. It's going to be a 5-inch wheel. Yeah, it's going to be a 5-inch wheel with a, probably 185, 65 tire on it. So it's going to be a little bit of a pluffy tire. So I might hit my mark where I want it to be. So far, I don't think I need to change out those control arms. All right, so my strut is a Fox body length. Allows me to keep the car low. The control arm is an SN95 length. It's a 03 spindle, so it's the long spindle. And here's what the hub face is right there. I just have a ruler taped to the face. That's where she sits. I think this will be pretty good. It gives me confidence to get my wheels and tires, not change anything else quite yet. I'm not going to commit myself into changing out this inner tie rod to an SN95 length yet. That's still a Fox body length. If I put on the outer tie rod, it won't grab enough thread. I have a 10-inch wide wheel here. They're going on the back. What I can do, it's 10-inch wide, I think it's 4.5 back spacing. Let's rip this off. Okay, hold on. Give it a hoop and heap. Give it a get that mammer jammer out of there. That guy can be a wee. Some junk, extra crap. So it's 4.5-inch back spacing, and it clears everything. The brakes even clear. I already dry fitted them. So there's enough space for the rotor and the caliper. Obviously that's the rear wheel, but it's nice to have a kind of a wheel to, you know, visualize what's going on. You kind of see what's going on here. It's a 15 by 10 wheel, 4.5-inch back spacing. So you can see, if you imagine a 5-inch wheel, or half that size. Yeah, hold on. So back to my scientific way of doing this. This line here, that's the inner edge of the wheel I'm buying, and that's the outer edge. So from the edge of the tape to the edge of the tape, that's the wheel that I'm picking up. And I don't know if you can see that, but it tucks in just nicely once I put that tire on it. I don't know. I think she'll be okay. All the guessing in the world doesn't come to close to actually having the parts in hand. But it's fun. It's fun to play around, fun to mess around with stuff. And all right, I should thumbnail that, eh? No. All right. So, okay. So I'm happy with that so far. I can't hang the other strut in yet because I need to clean up the hub and the spindle, and that is sitting at the shop right now. I have the long wheel studs at the shop also, so that sucks. But actually there's no buts. I want to get this front together, but I also have to, there's a butt I have to roll the car over. Oh, maybe I'll do that too this weekend. I've been talking about it for a while. Talking about it for too much. I think it's time to get her done. All right, just a short video tonight. Oh, this is what spills. Jesus Christ. That up. All right, just a short video tonight. I'll go edit this, post it, and then tomorrow I want to do more work and then post it again.